Good afternoon to you. Today we will continue with the Constitution class. In the last class, we have seen the legislative powers, executive powers, financial powers, and judicial powers of Parliament. Today we will see the powers of Parliament to amend the Constitution, that is, constituent power of the Parliament. The amendment of the Constitution has been elaborated in Article 368 of Part 20 of the Constitution. So, first information on PT point of view. The caption for Article 368 as found in the Constitution is the power of Parliament to amend the Constitution and procedure thereof. The power of Parliament to amend the Constitution and the procedure thereof. This is the caption you will find against Article 368. Prior to 24th Amendment Act 1971, underline important. The caption for Article 368 was procedure for amendment of the Constitution. Only this much. 24th Amendment Act 1971 added the term power of Parliament to amend the Constitution and the procedure thereof. This has been inserted. That is, power of Parliament to amend. Power of Parliament has been inserted. So, this is the second point that you should remember from the PT point of view. Thirdly, as you are aware, our political system is based on a written constitution. The constitution is considered to be the fundamental law of the land. It is the supreme law of land. A constitution can be flexible or it can be rigid. A flexible constitution is one under which every law of every description can be legally changed in the same ease and in the same manner by the same body. That is, the same body, same manner, same procedure, the legally changed. There is no difference between a constitutional law and the ordinary law. On the other hand, the rigid constitution is one under which certain laws which are known as constitutional law or fundamental laws cannot be changed in the same manner as ordinary law. So, kindly understand, appreciate, there are two types of laws. One is an ordinary law and the other is constitutional law. What is constitutional law? The provisions included in the constitution is called constitutional law. So, ordinary law and what is known as constitutional law. In nutshell, in the flexible constitution, there is no difference between a constitutional law and ordinary law. Both constitutional and ordinary law can be changed in the same manner by the same body without any difficulty. Without any difficulty, both the constitutional law and the ordinary law can be changed. Kindly understand the difference between an ordinary law and the constitutional law. Now, for example, to cite an example, you have seen Right to Information Act. It is not a constitutional law. This has not been included in the Constitution. Kindly appreciate, you see all the 395 articles, there is no mention about RTI in any of the provisions of the Constitution. The RTI was made in 2005. Recently, this RTI 2005 was amended, diluting the position of Central Information Commissioners. Central Information Commissioners' position was diluted in the Amendment Act So also the information commissioners, by amending the Parent Act through an ordinary amendment act, the act being passed by simple majority. So there was no mention in the constitution. It was an ordinary act. This was amended in the ordinary way through ordinary amendment act by simple majority. When the original RTI Act of 2005 kept the tenure of Central Information Commissioner as 5 years or till he attains the age of 65. The amended Act 2019, provided the term, quote, as may be prescribed by the central government. Deleting this 5 years or 65 years of age, the amended Act provided as may be prescribed by the central government, thereby giving the discretion to fix the tenure of the officer to the central government. The tenure can be fixed by the central government. That discretion has been given to the central government of the day. Subsequently, the central government, the government of India, in its wisdom, kept the tenure as 3 years from the date of entry upon the office by incorporating this in the rules. Because it was originally amended act says as prescribed. So now the central government through the rule prescribed by incorporating this in the rule. This amendment was able to be done by Parliament without amending the Constitution, because Parent Act was not in the Constitution, since the provisions relating to RTI and the Central Information Commissioner thereof were not part of the Constitution. Okay, now let us imagine, after 5 years or 10 years, if any subsequent government wants to further curtail the tenure of the Central Information Commissioner or Information Commissioners, it can be easily done by the government itself without even going to the Parliament, let alone amending the Constitution. Because the tenure is not prescribed in the the RTI itself is not part of the Constitution, and the Act also did not prescribe any tenure. It is said as prescribed in the rules. Accordingly, if any successive government wants to change the tenure, automatically it can be done by amending the rules without even going to the Parliament, let alone amending the Constitution. This is because for amendment of the Act, you have to approach the Parliament. For amending the rules, the government, that is minister in charge, is enough. For amending the rules, who is competent? Minister in charge. For amending the Act, who is competent? Parliament. Kindly see the difference. Constitution, law, and amendment, and rule, ordinary law, then amendment, then rules. So, 3 types of stages are there. One is constitutional provision. Second is Act, that is called law of the Parliament. Third is rules. That rules are made in accordance with the provisions of the Act. The substance should not be changed. So it is a subordinate legislation. 3 things are there. All the 3 are different. Constitutional provision, provisions of the Act, provisions of the rules. Now the rules they have been changed now. Now, in other words, let us say, I give another example. After 10 years, the government of the day feels that there are floodgate of RTI application. It is creating headache. Officers have lot of time is being wasted, especially on inconvenient information. The government of the day can make the tenure instead of 3 years to 1 year by simply amending the rules. Simply amending the rules, 3 years can be reduced to 1 year with the approval of minister in charge. There is no check. Remember, there is no check because Parliament has already delegated the power to the rule-making authorities, and the rule-making authority is the government. So the government can further reduce it to 1 year. 100% I am sure Mr. Modi government will not do it. let us say after 10 years, somebody else comes, they reduce this to 1 year, then it is as a result, no sensible officer will opt for the post either before retirement or after retirement. This is the risk involved in the acts and the rules, and not for the government. Risk is not for the government, but not for the officers of the government, but for the democratic system. Democratic system. So, you should understand what is the constitutional provision, what is the provisions in the act, and what is the provision in the rule, how they differ. This is very, very important. So, rules can be amended by government, minister in charge, act can be amended by approaching the parliament, and constitution can be amended by going to the parliament by adopting a special method, special procedure given in Article 368, which we are going to see today. That is what this is the prologue. This is the prologue of the introduction part of the amendment of the constitution. Now, take for example United Kingdom. It does not have any written constitution. It is the most obvious example of an extremely flexible constitution. Jocularly, people used to say UK House of Commons is competent to make any law except making a girl into a boy and boy into a girl, because House of Commons is the most powerful house of people in the world. So, it is an extremely flexible constitution. There is no difference between an ordinary law and constitutional law. There is no difference between a legislative power and constituent power. Constituent power. And the British Parliament can change the constitution, that is the conventions, etc., by an ordinary process of law. This is point number one you should take. In contrast, the constitutional amendment has an important place in any written constitution, especially in a federal constitution like that of USA. Now, in most of the written constitutions, the power to amend the constitution is either vested in a body which is separate from the normal legislature, or if it is vested in the normal legislature, it is subject to special procedure. Especially in federal systems, remember, there are additional safeguards such as requirement of approval by legislatures of the federating unit level, so as to make sure that the national legislature does not unilaterally amend the constitution to the disadvantage of the states, federating units. Such a safeguard is available in the amending procedure of federal constitution. Now, remember, we should remember that no constitution, howsoever it is rigid, it cannot be immune from change. It has to accept change. Everything changes. So, according to the change in the society, you have to change the constitution. Constitution cannot remain static. In a democratic political system, the constitution has to be responsive to the changing conditions, because the government is founded on the principle of popular sovereignty. The will of the people is expressed through the representatives of the people elected to the legislature, representative democracy. Therefore, the will of the legislatures have to be counted in a democratic system. You cannot say constitution cannot be changed. It cannot be unchanged. You have to change the constitution because it has to live with the time. It has to change according to the changes of the time. So, our constitution, in fact, is partly flexible and partly rigid. How it is flexible, we will see now. Technically, Article 368 prescribes only two procedures to amend the constitution. Only two. If you see the Article 368, it has only two procedures. In addition to these two procedures, practically there is one more procedure under which some provisions of Indian constitution can be amended by Parliament. But, underline but, such amendments are not to be treated as amendments for the purpose of Article 368. Article 3, for the purpose of Article 368, these amendments, quote, are not treated as amendments, despite these amendments amend the relevant provisions of the Constitution. Despite relevant provisions of the Constitution are amended, these amendments, so-called amendments, are not treated, are not deemed to be amendment for the purpose of Article 368. These are not treated as amendments for three reasons. There are three reasons why we are not treating these as amendment of the Constitution. Number one, the procedure for such changes is not found in Article 368. What is the procedure to change these provisions which are not included in the Constitution? I mean, because the procedure for such changes are not included in the Constitution, that is Article 368. Secondly, despite these amendments, the constitutional text remain unchanged. Even though you change, but the constitutional text remains unchanged. Second. Third is, despite the amendment, the so-called amendment process requires only simple majority in Parliament, whereas the other amendments require special majority. So these amendments, which are not to be treated as amendment for the purpose of 368, require only simple majority. What is simple majority? Subject to quorum, number of members present divided by 2 plus 1. For example, what is the quorum? Lok Sabha, let us say 55. What is the minimum number of members present? 60. What is divided by 2? 30. Plus 1, 31. If 31 members pass a law, it is a law. So, this is the position as far as ordinary law is concerned. What are such provisions in the Constitution, the amendment of which are not treated as amendments for the purpose of Article 368, we will see in the next class. Thank you.